on YouTube. So here I am back at the Mazdaspeed. This video I wanted to talk about the stock intake versus the Flyin Miata intake I have installed on it. First things first, as you can see, the intake is but far from stock. We're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough of the intake and explain to you what's good about it and what is bad about it. Now, first things first, this is the Flyin Miata full intake kit. So you got the air filter, the pipes, the throttle body intake pipe tube, whatever you want to call it, your Turbo Smart manual boost controller and Turbo Smart recirculating valve, which goes right back past the air filter, past the mass airflow sensor, because you don't want unmetered air into your mass airflow sensor or something. I don't really know why. So it's a little bit windy. The intake is good. It's great. You get the Canon filter, the Turbo Smart parts. Flyin Miata machined all the metal for the intake. Clearly, this piece is stock, and that piece is aftermarket. If you look close enough, it does say Flyin Miata on it, which is pretty nice touch, you know, even though I have a Flyin Miata sticker on the front. So air goes inside the air intake down to the turbo. Magic unicorns happen. Magic unicorns fly through this pipe to the intercooler, the intercooler into that, to the throttle body pipe. There, the air that's not used gets recirculated into here, back into there. Now, what I like about this intake is it's beautiful. It functions great. It's an OEM direct fit. Pop out the old one, stick this on there. It took me maybe an hour, maybe two, to put it on. That's with taking off the stock stuff. So it's a great intake from the Mazdaspeed. What I don't like about this intake at all was when I installed this recirculating pipe here. I called Flyin Miata. I'm like, it's not gonna fit. They're like, it will fit. So I think I had to like obviously cut it down to size a little bit, as you can tell. Had to heat it up, put it in some water or whatever the hell I did it, and shove it on there. That's why it's not 100% on there, but it's never come off, and it's not gonna come off. It bitches on there good. Another thing I don't like about it is they give you these little bitty pressure clamps, okay? Which they're not bad. They do their job and they keep shit tight. If you overdo it, it'll just spin there and it won't get tight. It won't grab on this side like a clamp's supposed to do. So that's bad. That's gross. That's bad. This is bad. You don't want that to do that. I've stripped out. I think this is stripped out this one, and I might have stripped out one of those ones. So it's kind of a pain. But they are a lot better than these vampire, sketchy ass to use, hard to use factory clips. These things are dangerous. They're a pain. And you do not want to put these on your car ever unless it's your only fucking option. Either get these or like regular style hose clamps off like a normal car. Another thing about it that I really don't like is I don't see why Flyin Miata use the Turbo Smart blow-off valve, recirculating valve, whatever you want to call it. It's a great piece. It functions well. Like I said, it's direct fit. But trying to get this on was a pain. You had to take off, like, it's just kind of a pain to get it over here. It's kind of in the way, you know, it's big. You understand it's supposed to look like an aftermarket piece, which it is, but I feel like they could have used a better piece. Whatever. Another thing that was hard was this piece right here, this little sensor, was tied into the factory tube that went right here. And this little bitch is a pain to get off. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It was terrible. I had to go borrow one of my neighbor's sockets because I didn't have one deep enough to get over the sensor and that. It was a pain. But besides that, it is a great intake. I've used the Turbo Smart blow-off valve in I reviewed another one of my videos on my old 89 Supra turbo I had. Great boost controller. It's a little temperamental with it getting cold outside. As I put this on in like June or July, maybe even before that, and now that it's almost December, I've had to cut down the boost a little bit since I've done it. That's really all I have to say about this intake in itself. The air filter, another thing I could probably bitch about, but it's not really an issue, is the air filter. If you put it on too far, it won't clamp down, and it kind of rubs up against your brake cylinder slightly, you know, kind of, oh, it's loose, that's fucking great. Kind of rubs up against everything here, but you know, it does its job. You know, its job is to be an air filter. It does it great. We're gonna go back to my shed now and explore the stock parts that came on the car to give you guys an idea of how bad they actually were. Alright everybody, we're here in my little shed in the back of my house. So you have quite a bit of aftermarket parts, or stock parts that I replaced. So this is the bottom of your air fit box. This was your snorkel piece. That, I mean, honestly, I don't think it does fucking anything for the car, but keep it quiet. You had this piece, which I believe went to the turbo from the airbox. Top part of your air intake. This miscellaneous hoses that were on there, that is a oil catch can, Mazdaspeed oil catch can, I believe. Haven't really used it much. This is that piece I was saying was a pain to get off that was sucked into the factory intake tube. So as you can tell, trying to, you know, it was hard. Moving on. You had all these pieces. These like random, like this is the intake tube that blew off a few times when I raced my buddy's Mustang. As you can tell, it's covered in electrical tape. It is literally a garbage part. You had this thing, which I don't even know what the hell Mazda was doing with this, but had to rip that off, and there's 2 bolts in there. This went from that Flyin miata piece that looks really nice. That's what that replaced, and this replaced. This went from the turbo to the, I don't know what it went to, but it went to something. So there you guys have it. The Flyin miata intake kit over the stock intake. It's a lot better intake for guys that want more power. You get more toys to play with the boost controller and the blow off. You get a little bit better sound. So that's about all for this video. Let's go take one last look at the car, and we'll be done. All right, YouTube, we're just gonna start the car up real quick to give you guys a sound of what the intake sounds like. I don't have a stock intake sound with me at this moment. I might be able to find one, but it might be hard. So as you can tell, I do have a muffler delete on the car, which sounds amazing on these cars. Not too loud, not too bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it a few pulls on the cable and show you guys what it sounds like. So it's not bad. It is a very cold start. The car hasn't been turned on for a few days due to the fact that it's been the weekend and a holiday at that. But if you guys want to see me review anything else, let me know. Wheels and tires next, and miscellaneous stuff will be coming. And definitely doing a video on the exhaust stock versus what I have now. And so till then, you guys have a good YouTube day.